What is reality? I mean, what is this? What the hell is happening here? Is this real life? Reality is defined as the state in which things actually exist, although I don't think anything actually exists. And what I mean by that is, to me, my definition of reality is whatever you believe actually exists, whatever you think or agree on actually exists. To me, that is what reality is. Now, here's when reality gets powerful. When more than one person agree, when you and I can agree on something, we then declare it or make it real. You and I could probably agree on quite a few things. You and I could probably agree that the sky is blue. You and I could probably agree that I am a guy talking into YouTube right now, and we could probably agree that Whole Foods is expensive. If you were to go to Whole Foods and say, hey, I started going to Whole Foods, I've been saving tons of money these days, I would either think that you were lying or insane, as in having a break from reality. Although I fucking love Whole Foods. I think the quality is good. I think it's a good place to go, and I'd recommend it. But reality is whatever we agree upon. That is why you can see these cults will form, and one person will say, hey, I'm David Koresh, and I think I'm Jesus. And everybody goes, hey, yeah, you're out David Koresh, maybe you are Jesus. That becomes their reality. And they are at a break with reality. Certain cults can be at a break with reality from the rest of the world because there's just a disagreement with reality. It's hard to say really that one person's right or wrong. It's just to say, objectively, we disagree on what we are saying is real. There's this movie I love called Dogtooth, and in this movie, a husband and wife keep their kids ignorant about the world around them well into their adulthood. The children, they're in their 20s in the movie, so they've been living at home in their 20s now, and they haven't ever crossed a property line or experienced a different reality. Under the rule of their father, they've been led to believe that house cats are dangerous creatures, incest is not taboo, and you can only leave the house when one day your canine teeth or your dog teeth fall out. These are the agreements of their reality, and since no one is in disagreement, this becomes reality. We are all born into a state of agreement, whether it is with our parents, with our family, with our town, with our church, with the world. There are states of agreement which we fall into, and that means that we agree on what reality is, but it doesn't necessarily mean it is reality or real. It is in our heads in a way. And it's because you can come to a place where you say, hey, I see something in my head which is not out in the world. I can create this thing. You can then break with and create your own realities. And if you are successful, you will be praised. We praise our entrepreneurs who have a vision of what they see the world to be, the Steve Jobs, the Elon Musks. We praise our visionaries like Dr. Martin Luther King, who sees a different reality and is able to share that and transmit that with other people and to build a new reality. So those are some of the inspiring ways in which you can see a vision for the future and inspire new realities. Reality is within our control. But the other side of that, and then the not so nice side, is that if you have a reality for life and for the future and it doesn't come to be, and it doesn't come to be in your lifetime, then you live with what we call an illusion. You have an illusion. And there's a burden that goes with that. I love this quote from the movie Mad Max where he says, hope is a mistake. If you can't fix what's broken, you'll go insane. And there is some truth to this in our society. This idea of the artist or the great thinker who doesn't get the praise and who ends up with what Ernest Becker calls neurosis and anxiety. The anxiety of having a vision, of having an obsession that's internal and that you see external, but then doesn't get lifted into the socially accepted world, leading you to live by yourself with an illusion. And you have this illusion. Now we all have illusions. We are, like I said, we all have realities that we are living with. And if we were to boil down realities just to being our own illusions and agreed upon illusions, then perhaps the best question is, which illusion is the best one to live? Or in other words, what is the most legitimate foolishness that we can agree upon? All right, so those are my thoughts on reality. It is a state of being that is agreed upon between more than one person. I'm curious what you think reality is. What's your definition? And do you have anything that you believe so true, to be so true about the future that you walk around with it and get this kind of disconnect or feel like you have an illusion sometimes of a way that you imagine the world can be. I want to know what that is. Please put it down in the comments. I want to hear your experience. I'll just add that for me, some of the neuroses and things that I combat are just my belief that I just wrote a few notes down here, that we can reduce the income gap between the poor and the rich so that we all have enough, so that we could all help each other get this thing called life and not always be so us versus them. And to me, that kind of connection also comes with our connection to the earth, the place where the food that we eat comes from, the air that we breathe. And part of that is driving less cars, eating less meat. All of this plays into this kind of connection that I want to feel when I live, and that I can see that we will get back to, because for 90% of humanity, we were living this way. So that's part of the way that I see the world, and that's just my example. I would love to hear what you see as the future and how you feel sometimes disconnected from that, or what we can do about it, to learn from each other, to find agreement and reality through our conversations here, on YouTube or in real life or whatever. So that's reality. What are you thinking? Write it down below. Subscribe to this channel if you want to hear more. And if you have some things to say, I look forward to that. My name's Chris, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.